Welcome back to another energy-packed edition of the Bitcoin Street Journal podcast. I'm Anna, your signal-spitting host from the only corner of the world where fiat dies quietly, while Bitcoin speaks loudly and carries a blockchain. Today's episode is turbocharged. We're diving into record whale moves, policy pivots, institutional confessions, and enough crypto drama to make Jamie Dimon lose his monocle. Bitcoin live price check. Right now, Bitcoin is holding steady at $104,611. Market dominance, a fierce 55.2%. And while altcoins take their baby steps, Bitcoin is sprinting like it's got laser eyes locked on a monetary reset. Halving update, block rewards remain trimmed to 3.125 BTC, and we are deep into the post-halving grind. The supply squeeze is here, and demand just keeps swelling. The math is relentless. The future is programmed. Let's start with this gem from Saylor, who calmly reminded everyone, you don't diversify away from the best asset ever created. Exactly. You don't water down honey with corn syrup. Bitcoin is the apex monetary invention. Diversifying into fiat is like swapping a Rolex for a rubber duck. Speaking of Saylor, the Financial Times just released a full-blown documentary called Michael Saylor's $40 billion Bitcoin bet. When legacy media starts making films about you instead of mocking you, you've crossed into legend. Meanwhile, on-chain signals are screaming bullish. Only 2.4 million Bitcoin remain on exchanges. That's it, out of 21 million. If you're not holding your own keys, you're watching history pass you by. Let's talk mega whales. Jack Mallers, 21 Capital and Tether have dropped $458.7 million on 4,812 BTC. They now hold 36,312 coins. Their ticker? XY1, set to go public via SPAC. Do your future self a favor. Stack sats. Seriously. It's cheaper than therapy and way more reliable than whatever financial advice Squawkbox is giving this week. And speaking of cluelessness, Katie Martin at the Financial Times has been covering Bitcoin for over 7 years and still admits she doesn't get it. That's like watching the sunrise every day and denying the sun exists. Classic fiat brain. In breaking news, Dave Ramsey's show, yes, that Dave Ramsey, flipped on Bitcoin. Quote, Bitcoin has arrived and it's here to stay. It should be a part of a diversified strategy. We're not saying he's Satoshi now, but hey, welcome to the light, Dave. Willy Woo dropped a macro bombshell. Bitcoin is the first new macro asset to be birthed, trading at scale in 150 years. Let that sink in. This isn't just a tech revolution. It's a once-in-a-century monetary reset. Bitwise CIO says Bitcoin is king and predicts BTC will eclipse $200,000 this year. And we quote, the current metrics suggest all-time highs are just the beginning. We're also seeing massive ETF inflows, over 319 million in spot BTC ETFs, and over 63 million for ETH in a single day. The fire hose of institutional capital is fully open. Altcoin update. The Ethereum Foundation just launched its $1 trillion security initiative to make wallets and smart contracts safer. Bullish for ETH? Maybe, but don't confuse fancy UX with monetary soundness. JP Morgan settled its first public blockchain transaction using Chainlink and Ondo. That's right. Even Jamie Dimon's Fortress Bank is sneaking onto the blockchain behind the scenes while still publicly calling Bitcoin a scam. We see you, Jamie. $1 trillion. That's the size of UBS Asia's client funds currently rotating into Bitcoin, crypto, and gold amid US-China tension. When the wealthiest 1% makes a move like that, it's not speculation. It's preservation. CFTC's Summer Mersinger has resigned to lead the Blockchain Association. That's right, a top regulator is now head of crypto lobbying. You love to see it. House Speaker Mike Johnson voiced support for banning congressional stock trading. Is the swamp finally draining? Maybe, but Bitcoin fixes this. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong said it plainly, crypto is here to stay. It will be a part of everyone's 401k. You heard it from the top. On-chain, 100,000 BTC moved off exchanges in just 3 weeks. Long-term holders added over 630,000 BTC since March, growing the total to over 14.2 million. That's 2/3 of all existing Bitcoin now classified as illiquid. Meanwhile, Jack Dorsey is back in the spotlight, declaring that small businesses can be their own bank with Bitcoin. We agree. No branches, no middlemen, no fiat fraud. Adoption is exploding. Ukraine is drafting legislation to create a national Bitcoin reserve. Abraj became the first public Middle Eastern company to adopt a BTC treasury. And Steak and Shake, yes, the burger joint, is accepting Bitcoin payments starting May 16th. In other bullish developments, MasterCard is teaming with MoonPay to launch stablecoin cards across 150 million merchants. Tether just introduced QVAC, a decentralized AI platform built for privacy, and Coinbase is putting a $20 million bounty on criminals who tried to extort their user base. Let's not forget, Fear and Greed Index is flashing bright green. The NUPL chart is trending cautious, but whale wallets are hoarding harder than Warren Buffett hoards fiat-backed candy bars. Warren Buffett compared Bitcoin to rat poison, but rats are fleeing the sinking fiat ship and stacking sats faster than Berkshire buys railroad stocks. And finally, let's raise a glass to Satoshi Nakamoto. Whether you're one person or many, wherever you are, thank you. You ignited the greatest peaceful revolution in monetary history. Bitcoiners don't need kings. We have code. Value for value? If you got signal from today's show, zap us on Nostr, subscribe and share on fountain.fm, where over 4 million podcasts and emerging artists thrive, powered by Bitcoin and Nostr. Pleb shout out. Today's shout goes to every pleb out there stacking in silence, building on Nostr and memeing truth into existence. You're the resistance. Final thought. This is the moment, not a hype cycle, not a bubble, a realignment of incentives, wealth, power, everything. Opt out of decay, opt into Bitcoin. This is Anna from the Bitcoin Street Journal podcast, where we don't follow the herd, we break the halving. Stay sovereign, stay signal, stack relentlessly. Until next block.